Let's make my new favorite top for the summer. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole and I like to do fashion DIYs. In today's video, I'm gonna make this cute little back cutout tie-up mock neck tank. That's what I'm calling it. To make this pattern, I actually modified another pattern that I recently made. It is my basic high neck tank top DIY, which I will have down below. Using this basic tank top as a base, I decided to add some modifications. I changed the neckline by adding a mock neck, and I also added a cutout in the back. So it's a little bit of an upgrade from my last DIY. Let me know if you'd like a video showing you how I modified a basic tank top pattern into this pattern. But in the meantime, if you don't want to do that, I have this pattern available on my Etsy page, which will be linked down below. I would say that this pattern is definitely beginner friendly, and all you really need is a domestic straight stitch machine with a few different needle types. But if you have a serger, you can also use this for part of it as well. But there are definitely parts of it that you will need a domestic straight stitch, or if you happen to have a cover stitch, you're winning. Because I own a serger, I am going to be using it, but keep in mind anything I use with a serger you can do on your straight stitch machine with a zigzag stitch. In terms of materials, you are going to need 1/2 yard to 3/4 yard worth of stretch knit fabric. I am making myself the size extra small, and I am using 1/2 yard of fabric, and it just fits perfectly. So if you are using a larger size, you might need a little bit more fabric than 1/2 yard, just so you're aware. And for your other supplies, you are going to need a stretch twin needle as well as a stretch needle for your machine. So let's get to cutting. To cut the pattern, you are going to cut out your front and back pieces on the fold. I included a pattern piece for the tie, but sometimes I feel like it's easier to just draw it out and cut it rather than pinning a piece of paper. So I'm drawing out a piece that is 1.25 inches wide and at least 55 inches long. Once all your pattern pieces are cut, you should have 2 armhole bindings, 1 mock neck piece, the tie, 1 back, and 1 front. Now let's put it together. Starting off with my serger, I am sewing my tie piece with right sides together. Then I will serge the mock neck right sides together and do the same for both of my armhole bindings. Before I sew my front and back together, I am serging the hemline and then pinning my side and shoulder seams right sides together before sewing. Now I'm going to attach the mock neck. To do that, I am dividing the neckline on my tank into quarters. And with my mock neck folded in half, I am going to divide it into quarters as well. Now I'm going to pin them together with the neck seam aligning with the center back of the tank. Then I will serge or zigzag them together at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. This is how it looks so far. Before switching over to my straight stitch machine, I turn my strap right side out with the safety pin. To attach the armhole bindings, I am doing a reverse binding, and I use this machine because the seam allowance is 3/4 inch. Once I have set up my zigzag stitch, I attach the right side of the binding to the wrong side of the tank top. I also like to press the opposite end of the binding, so when I flip it to the right side, it's easier to lay flat. I do this to both armholes before switching to my twin needle for top stitching. Be sure to test out your needle and stitches on a scrap piece of fabric before sewing your project. Then I went ahead and top stitched both of the arms and the neckline. The final steps is to finish up the bottom of the tank. I'm going to start with hemming the front. I marked and folded up my hem 3/4 inch and sewed using my twin needle. Then I did the same thing to the curve hemline on the back. Now it's time to feed the tie through the back channel using a safety pin. And I tied off each end with a knot. Now it's time to try it on. Okay. This is how the tank top turned out, aside from my twin needles skipping, and there are some skipped stitches on the top stitching. We're just going to ignore that. I'm extremely happy with how it turned out, and the best part is the back. If you like this tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you are interested in this sewing pattern, it is linked down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!